Please rise for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, can I have everybody to stand for 1 minute? We need a moment of silence, and that is going to blind me here. Lisa Borges, our acting interim city manager, and our city clerk, her mother passed away this weekend. So I'd like to have a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Bunton,
Here.
Campbell,
Here.
Dempsey,
Here.
Ford,
Here.
Hill,
Here.
Crop,
Here.
Menser,
Here.
Okay, announcements, acknowledgements, and communications and reports. We have 2 this evening. The first one's going to be a presentation from the Mount Clemens Community Coalition to Mr. Bill Mangan. And if we could have Mr. Mangan and the coalition group, President Mr. Button, Commissioner Button, and we have someone else. You don't want to get up? Oh. Okay.
On behalf of the Mount Clemens Community
Roger, you
Coalition-
get the microphone.
Mike.
Get the mic.
I won't speak loud enough. Okay.
The camera won't pick it up.
The Mount Clemens Community Coalition for Youth and Families is a grassroots organization based in the city of Mount Clemens whose mission is to prevent and reduce substance abuse in our community through education and awareness activities. Our goal is to create a safe, healthy community by building and supporting strong families and neighborhoods. We are proud to recognize Bill Mangan and Mangan's Irish Hut as a recipient of our annual Certificate of Compliance Award, in that they have demonstrated excellent compliance with Michigan's laws prohibiting the sale of alcohol or tobacco to minors. This certificate recognizes the effort that your business has made in promoting a positive and healthy Mount Clemens community. And I would also like to add to you, Bill was a police officer in the past?
No.
No?
His son.
You're just your son, okay. His son, a police officer in the past, and they have always upheld the laws of this city. And so we're really, really proud of them. Certificate. Certificate of Compliance 2016, Mangan's Irish Hut. This licensed retailer established has demonstrated excellent compliance with Michigan's laws prohibiting the sale of alcohol to minors. We thank you for doing your part in keeping Mount Clemens youth safe by not providing alcohol to minors. Congratulations, sir.
On behalf of my wife, family, and all my friends, I want to thank you for this certificate of appreciation. And I've been doing it for 65 years. I hope I do another 65 years. But thank you very much, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And before I sit down, I would just like to invite any of you who would like to get involved with this Mount Clemens Community Coalition for Youth and Families to join us. We meet every Wednesday, every fourth Wednesday at 3 o'clock at Mount Clemens High School. So if you are interested in helping us further our cause, we invite you to join us. Thank you.
And just to say that we arrive at these awards by taking a look at all of the facilities around that sell alcohol or tobacco who have had absolutely no violations. So proud to say that you've had no violations in that. So congratulations, really appreciate it. Okay, the second presentation is going to be from the Clinton River Watershed Council. And I'm sorry, your name?
Amanda Oparka.
Amanda is going to give us a presentation here, so let me move.
Okay.
I don't know if I can get over far
I'm
enough.
going to try to use my mouse. I forgot my clicker. So.
Okay.
All right, well, I'm just here tonight to thank you guys for once again for being a water town. You guys have been a water town since the program started in 2013. My role at the Clinton River Watershed Council is the watershed planner, and so I manage our water towns program. There we go. All right, so for those of you who don't know, Water Towns is our placemaking initiative, the Clinton River Watershed Council's placemaking initiative designed to connect people and their waterways in the Clinton River watershed. We do this through recreation, green infrastructure, history, ecology, art, and education. The program was started in 2013 by funding from the Fred A. and Barbara M. Erb Family Foundation. Mount Clemens and the city of Rochester were our first two water towns. Since then, in 2013, we've grown to have 12 water towns. Last year, in 2015, we were awarded a grant from the Michigan Department of Environmental Quality Coastal Zone Management Program to do planning and design for 12 universally accessible kayak launches in 9 communities. Well, it started as 9, and since we've received the grant, we've added 3 more locations. Universal accessibility is not just about making the kayaking accessible for people with disabilities, but people of all abilities, all ages, all skills. It's independent to use, safe, intuitive, and easier to use by everyone. It's not just about having an accessible kayak launch or canoe launch, but also having a route to that, an accessible route to that launch, as well as things like accessible restrooms, information kiosks that can be read easily, having a kayak rack for people to store their kayak and go into town and have a meal or a drink and come back. And then all these kind of things we took into account when we started looking at those 12 locations. And this is our kind of final site plan that was developed through this project. We worked closely with Brian in community development and also Jennifer Neal in planning to develop this site plan. We looked at using the existing launch at the YMCA, right by the YMCA. However, the Jones Street offers, it's city property, so it's easy, it won't change hands. That was kind of one of the big things that one of our consultants that we worked with, she specializes in accessibility, and she said for this, kind of project to invest in all this infrastructure and then have the relationship with the Y or have it change hands, and then you can't use that parking lot or those restrooms anymore. So we kind of focused on having people access from Jones Street and park down there. And you also have Simple Adventures operating here in Mount Clemens, so this provides a place for them to have their trailer as well. So then I just have some renderings. We've kind of split it up into 2 phases because the overall project, obviously reconfiguring the street is quite expensive. So we looked at what do we need to have to make an accessible launch, what's the minimum, and we kind of called that phase 1. So building off of the existing boardwalk that's there is helpful, saves a lot of money because we only need to put in a 30-foot gangway down to the water with the dock attached to it, and that's what's shown in this picture here. And then including things like the bathroom. This shows a double bathroom, but in our plan, we proposed just a single stall, family-friendly bathroom, which would have a lock on it, which then people would call to get a code or something like that. We'll figure that out. And then including things like I said, the art and stuff. This is just a example, but maybe including a nice art piece at the park. This is under the bridge. And then phase 2 would be, like I said, that whole street reconfiguration, and these are just artistic renderings. So this shows a drinking fountain in the kiosk. We can still have the kiosk. It'll just be on the park side of things, and then adding parking and reconfiguring. As you'll see, the actual picture, the site plan, the plan view shows a roundabout here that would go into the park and not the adjacent property. So where we're at on this, the Watershed Council in the last year was able to hire a development director. So we have someone who is identifying some potential funding partners. And we were able to work with Brian to put together a proposal for the Michigan Economic Development Corps. They will, they have a program where they partner with a site, website called Patronicity, where they'll match up to $50,000 if you crowdfund $50,000. So we've submitted a beginning proposal for that, and they're actually really helpful. They emailed 20 minutes after we had submitted that proposal to set up a meeting, phone call to talk about next steps. They'll actually send someone out to do a video and do help us with all the promotion of it. And then the goal would be to install that launch in spring 2017. And that's all I have. If you have any questions, I can.
Any questions from the board? Commissioner Ford?
You have no Harper and Wellington Crescent, is that a watershed?
Yes, that's a part of the watershed. That's the spillway there.
Yes, that area.
Yeah.
Any other? Commissioner Menser?
Thank you. I was just wondering about, to make this waterway more accessible, if you walk down the boardwalk as it exists right now, there are a lot of obstructions in the water. How do we, get those out? Are there grants available? Do we partner with, the County Public Works Department? How do we arrange to get those out so that it is an enjoyable kayaking experience?
Definitely, we can partner with the Watershed Council and the Public Works Office. We do that. We've done that before with when they did the canoe race the last couple of years down here. We worked with them to clear out some log jams at Shady Side on the pedestrian bridge. So we can definitely help. We can bring volunteers too that can help with that. We have a great partnership with the Chrysler Fiat FCA Foundation. They have a group called Motor Citizens that we can go on, and they'll actually pay their employees to come out and help volunteer. So we can always get volunteers to come out and help and work with the city and Public Works.
Well, it's been real interesting over the last several months. I have seen a lot more wildlife down there. I took my little man, he's 8 now. We went down that boardwalk and we actually saw fish jumping out of the water. We saw a heron down there, and thrill upon thrill, we saw turtles, but unfortunately for him, no snakes.
Yeah.
That's his goal in life, is to catch a snake. So I was real pleased to see that it appears to me if there's more wildlife there and more fish, that the water's a little bit cleaner.
Definitely.
I read a report recently that disputes that was in the newspaper. I'm sure you saw it. But visually, it looked good to me, and we were thrilled with what we saw down there.
Absolutely. My first role at the Watershed Council 5 years ago when I started was to look at the history of the watershed. And I found a report from 1970s saying the DNR did a survey, did not find a single living fish from the mouth of the river to Pontiac where it goes underground. Today we have all kinds of fish. Pertaining to that recent article, yes, that was a research paper done by someone not local who looked at one site in the whole entire watershed, and we have 760 square miles in our watershed, so definitely it's getting better.
You want to talk about your fundraiser?
Sure, yeah, if you want me to.
Yes.
We have a fundraiser going on next week at Yates Cider Mill in Rochester Hills. It's a craft beer and wine tasting and food as well. It happens every year in September, and it's all local wineries and breweries.
Anyone else? Thank you so much. I think we'll give you a few minutes to
I'll get this out.
shut this down and yeah, shut the light off. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, adoption of the agenda.
I move to adopt the agenda as presented.
Support.
Roll call.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser,
Yes.
Bunton.
Yes.
Would you excuse?
You sure may. You
I
sure may.
want to make sure you're all 21. I'm inviting you over for a drink. You gotta be 21.
Okay.
She didn't talk about that watershed, Wellington Crescent,
Give it a minute.
This is dumb. This is dumb.
Thank
Tell you, I'm not too old to see.
Okay. Okay. Public participation, this is the time you may address this body. All we ask is that you give us your name, residential address, and that you adhere to the 3-minute rule. So the mic is open.
My name is Joe E. Harrington. I live at 152 Court Street here in Mount Clemens. I would like to publicly thank the owner of Jim's Catering here in the city of Mount Clemens on Cass Avenue, whom I do not know, and I guess his name is Jim. Last city commissioner meeting that we had, I lost $109, and he returned it to me. And I thank him for it, and the citizens and people like him that makes Mount Clemens and the world a better place. And also, after talking to Commissioner Minster, I was pleased and happy to say and thank her for doing an outstanding job on being concerned about the community and neighborhood. Thank you both.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, my name is Rick Block. I live on Cambridge, 207 Cambridge. I got just kind of a curiosity question. In a previous lifetime, I was involved with contract negotiations on a national scale, a local scale. And I was just curious, as I read through the agenda online today, I said, either that's a typo or they're more than a year behind with some negotiations here. Just kind of curious, why is this, if it's not a typo, and we are a year behind from a contract window from July of 2015 to June of 2018, why is this the first time that the public is being made aware of this? I don't recall seeing anything out there that we're in negotiations. I know that you don't disclose anything and like that, but, you know, just FYI, people, we're doing this and we're negotiating with this group of people, that group of people, and yet here it is, you know, we're a year late, according to what this says, I'm just curious as to why we didn't know about this and, why we're late.
Well, there were contract extensions on all of those contracts, formal agreements between the city and the different unions to extend the existing contract.
Was that public knowledge?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't
I'm
think
just
there was
curious. I
any
mean,
outcry from-
I'm looking at a piece of paper and it says, wow, we're a year late. I wonder why we're a year late. So,
Well,
the agreed upon
The answer
extensions?
is we're not a year late. We had contracts that were extended
Okay.
for an
Just-
additional
just
year.
curious.
But I'm not aware of anybody that publishes, we just extended our union contract. I've never heard of any communities doing that.
Well, I don't know about communities, but I know in the business world,
The business world is different.
they do that.
Well,
Like I said, it's just a curiosity question, that's all.
no.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry?
I said, thank you. Anyone else?
So, I'm hard of hearing, so I'm going to make sure everybody can understand the way I speak. My name is Ken, and this is my wife Sharon. We live off North Walnut in Euclid, and we have a concern about a house that next door to us that is, he's trying to remodel the house, but the approach that he made is very unsafe. My wife has oxygen, and we have a lot of medical equipment at the house that the tarp he had covered the whole house from the ground up to the chimney, and he's got the chimney covered. You got electrical, you got gas lines, everything hooked up to the house. But this thing is completely tarped the whole house, and he nailed it to the side of the house. So our concern is that the safety of that tarp blown out during windstorm, causing a fire because it wrapped on the telephone or the electrical wiring, and it would cause a fire, and our house would be involved in it because we have a lot of oxygen tanks, and the safety is the concern. And we just don't know how to approach the situation at hand. I mean, we've never seen a house that's completely covered by a tarp. So we come to you for guidance and understand how do we get the gentleman to do a better way of, this house is condemned. I don't know how the person had an opportunity to buy this house. It's just above and beyond to need to be repaired. It's totally unsafe for him to even put any kind of money into it.
It's been vacant since 2010,
Okay.
totally vacant, and it's falling apart.
I mean, literally.
It's the shaft, one part of the building's gone down on it, and now they're putting this tarp over it to hide the problem, and it's really not gonna work. I'm scared to death because I have a health condition.
Okay.
that could literally
Can
kill me.
There you go.
recommend Brian Tingley, who is our,
May,
excuse me,
may I?
well, let me finish, and then you may.
Because I talked to him.
Okay.
I mean, we just have a question is that. I think
Apparently,
people-
they've talked to you.
And then
Okay.
I talked to Brian.
Brian, you're aware of it?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
I let Sharon know that Mr. Tingley did have staff go out, and that house was
Yes,
tagged.
just,
And so they will be following the process.
Okay,
For,
sure.
up to removal of the home.
okay.
So Mr. Community Development is aware of it, and that house has now been tagged, just recently.
Okay, thank you. That would be greatly appreciated.
If you have any concerns in the meantime, please call and ask for Mr. Tingley. It's 469-6818, the regular city
Okay.
number, extension 901 is Mr. Tingley's number.
Okay.
Okay.
And you can contact him at any time you have concern. He has a process to go through, and he will follow that process, but he'll keep you up to date.
Thank you very much.
Okay?
One last question.
Sure.
Are people allowed to type a house like that? Just for me to have an understanding. I mean, now when they do that, there's a 30-day time for them to do that, to get that off the house, correct?
Correct. The use of a tarp on a roof or whatnot, it should be temporary. It's not a permanent fix.
Okay. So that's all I need to know. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Anyone else?
Did you get the address?
No?
Did you get the
Okay,
address?
seeing no one. There were no administrative responses to issues previously. I need a motion to approve the minutes from previous meeting.
I move to approve the minutes of, sorry, didn't click, August 15th, 2016.
Second.
Roll call?
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser,
Yes.
Bunton,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
I forgot the 22nd.
And the special meeting of the 22nd.
And the special meeting of August 22nd. Sorry.
Everybody
Second.
agree?
Okay.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay, on to general business. 9A, request approval of a resolution adopting the proposed master plan update, which was tabled from the previous meeting of August 15th. At its August 1st, 2016 meeting, the Mount Clemens City Commission reserved the right to be the final approval authority of the master plan update. After a public hearing held August 3rd, 2016, the Mount Clemens Planning Commission recommended that the Mount Clemens City Commission adopt the proposed master plan update resolution. The attached resolution, if approved, is the final step to approving the master resolution. And I should have asked for a motion first before I read this, and I
Move
need
to
a
approve.
second.
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 And I've already read it. So it's open for any kind of discussion at this point in time. And who would like to? Commissioner
Okay.
Bunton.
All right. I'm in full support of the master plan update. However, I believe several things should be considered in the next revision or the next update, one of which is more community input. I attended the RRC training session, and one of the things they were very highly in favor of is multiple community inputs. Town hall meetings, various places throughout the city to get input on that. I think that they would have some really strong opinions, probably both pro and con, about the riverfront development and things of that nature, but if they were to have that opportunity to express it, I know everybody in our community is not going to get on the internet and do that, but they might go to a meeting and express their opinion at that time. I think we need to be more realistic about our goals and visions for the city. I think we're not really Detroit or Royal Oak or other thriving high-end cities. We need to work on our own unique identity and then sell that. I think that those two items, probably should be considered the next time we go through the planning revision or planning update. But other than that, I think we have a very fine document, and I think that we can move forward with it.
Okay. Anyone else? Well, seeing none. Oh, Commissioner Menser.
So, in Brian's memo, he's got some dates here, and I just wanted to clarify, we have had this in front of the public at city commission meetings on 6/16, 7/18, 8/15. It's been available on the website. The master plan, I concur with Commissioner Bunton, it's beautifully written. It shows opportunities that might exist. And the marketing possibilities with the vendor that helped with the plan, I think are really very well done, and I am pleased with the plan.
Anyone else? Commissioner Hill.
I just want to say that I appreciate the input that some people did make. There was some people that emailed responses to community development, I guess, and I read all of those, and I thought they were all very interesting, and appreciate their input. I also want to say that, for the most part, I think this is a very fine document. There are some parts of it I support more than others, but on the whole, I think it's a very good document.
Well, as everybody knows, the master plan is the master plan is a policy document that's a guide. It's a physical document that is a guide. It is not any type of an ordinance. It's not regulated. It's not enforceable. The only thing that can be enforceable is when we have our zoning ordinances. So keep this in mind, just like in 1955, when they put their plan together of what their vision was at that time, it changes, and every 5 years it should be examined because different things, economy, scale of things that change. So this is, again, I can't stress it more than I possibly can. This is a guide. It is not the written word. It's a guide to lead this commission, the city, at this point in time, what we see as a vision. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, this board may be totally different, and they'll have different visions and different guides and different master plans. So I've heard so much where people say we are not adhering to the master plan. But the master plan, again, just like anything else, is a guide to get us where we, as a commission, by approving this, see the city going. So I just wanted to state that, because too many times people get this mixed up with, why aren't you enforcing this? Why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done this? You can't. You cannot enforce a master plan guide. It gives us the opportunity to make zoning changes and ordinances to abide by the guides if this commission chooses to. So I hope that doesn't confuse people, but I wanted to clarify that.
I hope what the master plan does is gives a blueprint to what the next city manager, whoever the next city manager may be, and the department heads. I hope it gives them somewhat of an overall vision to then create small, attainable goals to then move us forward, because I believe that has been what we've been lacking in terms of leadership, and I think it's also been, we've been lacking. I understand that it all comes down to money too, but I know that we can pool resources or have the way we spend money, the money that we do have, by saying, as you do in a business, does this align with what will move us forward? Does this align with our goals? Is this frivolous? Is this not going to get us anywhere? Why are we doing this? And so I think that that's how the master plan can really benefit our community, and saying that, we may not be able to bring, fill the entire downtown with businesses on our own as a city. We can't, as the government, we can't necessarily yank a businessman and say, you have to come down to downtown Mount Clemens. We'd like to be able to do that, but it doesn't really work that way. But we can do things that will help create a friendly environment. And I think we have to look at those. What are our priorities? And that's really important for our next leader. So I'm going to get off my soapbox. Sorry.
Commissioner Mansell?
I just thought it was important to note that some grants require us to have an approved master plan. The RRC requires an approved master plan. Other economic development programs require us to have an approved master plan. So we are in a good place to move forward with these other initiatives.
State law
state law
requires
says
that we
we have
have
to
an
have
Right.
approved master plan.
Yeah.
Because you cannot adopt any ordinances, zoning ordinances, amendments to them or new ones, unless you have a master plan. The zoning ordinance doesn't have to comply with the master plan necessarily, but the Zoning Enabling Act, the state act, says that zoning ordinance must be based upon a plan. So you have to have one.
Yep.
Right. And only the governing body can approve An ordinance, a zoning
yeah,
ordinance.
the planning
The planning
commission cannot.
commission can make recommendations, but it's this governing body that actually votes on the actual ordinance, zoning ordinance. So that's, I think, been another misnomer with this master plan, that the planning commission has been getting a lot of heat because they're not doing something in changing things in the master plan, but they don't have the authority. It has to come to this body, so.
And one other item is that this master plan identifies City Hall and this piece of property as an opportunity for redevelopment. A lot of people have interpreted that it's in the master plan, that somehow means that's going to happen. Well, two things would have to occur before that ever happened. Number one, you got to have an entrepreneur who wants to buy the property at a price that the city commission, then in existence, feels is desirable. And two, the city commission would have to approve and accept an offer. And two, the city commission would have to approve and adopt a rezoning ordinance to rezone this property. So it's merely in here, and they label it as such, as an opportunity. It doesn't mean will ever happen.
They identified a lot of
Right,
various
there were all
properties.
kinds of opportunities.
Right,
So,
so, I think it's a well-written master plan. I think that it needs to be reviewed at least, if not every other year, at least every 5 years. I know that the MML has gone to the point of saying it should be reviewed every year because of the changes that goes on. So we have to keep that in mind, but it's a very well-written plan. Brian, thank you for all the work you put into it, and the committees. So I think on that note, we'll take a vote.
Hill,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser,
Yes.
Bunton,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Okay, 9B, approve purchase and payments of invoices. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve the purchases and payment of invoices as presented.
Second.
Are there any questions? Seeing none, roll call.
Crop,
Yes.
sorry, Menser,
Yes.
Bunton,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Okay, consent agenda. Need a motion?
Move to approve the
Right.
consent agenda.
I don't think there's one.
Oh,
I don't think there
I
is.
was
a
saying,
consent.
Oh, there may not be, I'm
No.
sorry. Just like there wasn't any administration, okay. There's a lot of paper for not having. Okay, city manager's report. As soon as I find it. Here we go. Just a reminder that this week your refuse pickup is going to be a day delayed. So the schedule is going to be behind one day from September 5th through September 9th. Pancake breakfast, the 16th annual Soapbox Derby Pancake Breakfast will be held Saturday, September 10th from 7:30 to 11 at the Mount Clemens Fire Department. Adults are $5, seniors $4, and children 11 and under 3. This year, the proceeds from the pancake breakfast are going to be going to the fallen Harrison Township firefighter Andrew Moose Russell. So everyone come out and support. They make great pancakes and sausage, I can tell you that, from years past. The Mount Clemens Grand Prix is going to be also September 10th. It starts at 10 o'clock at the Crocker Bridge. And for more information, you can call 586-468-7746. Farmers Market on North Avenue is going to be having their tater pork roast on Saturday, September 17th from 9 a.m. until it's sold out. And let me tell you, it sells out quick. The market will be open at 7 a.m. until 1. For additional information, you can call the Macomb County Chamber at 586-493-7600. And now that we've approved the master plan, Brian's on to the next venture, the Parks and Recreation Plan. The city will be starting the process of preparing a new Parks and Recreation Plan. Residents should visit the city website for an opportunity to learn about the project and take part in an online survey provided to provide input on the new plan. There's a Facebook page also, which is facebook.com/City of Mount Clemens. Additional public outreach efforts will be conducted throughout the city over the course of the project. I'm sure if you come to City Hall, we can provide you also with the survey, where we have some printed out surveys for those who cannot get online. How long do you anticipate this project? It doesn't say here, but do you have an idea?
Well, we're doing this, our current plan expires with the DNR at the end of this year. So we're doing
Okay.
it so we're eligible again for the grant cycle that starts April 1st of next year. So we anticipate adopting it sometime after the first of the year.
Okay, great. Even though we don't have a recreation department,
Correct.
we need this to proceed, just like Commissioner Menzer said with some of the other grants that we can get. Any questions from the city manager's report that I might answer? No? Okay. Well, we'll move on to commissioner comments. Commissioner Campbell?
Yeah, I just have one comment, and that's for the Mr. Wood in the street department. There was a resident that had called about a dangerous limb that was hanging in the street over their car, and they came out, and not only did they come out and fix it, they came back and did a little bit more trimming, and they said they were professional, speedy, and very friendly, so they were very happy with the streets department. That's it.
Thank you. Commissioner Hill?
I just have one item also. That's to wish all the students and teachers who started back to school today a very good school year. And let's watch for kids as they're crossing the street going to school. Have a good evening and a good week.
Thank you. Commissioner Kropp?
The Crop household did survive the first day of kindergarten for our youngest son, so hopefully the world's ready for Miles in kindergarten. We also have, I'll have my Commissioner Coffee Talk this next week on Tuesday, September 13th at 9:30 a.m. And then again on Saturday, so if you have to work on Monday through Friday, hopefully you can join me on Saturday, September 17th at 9:30, both at John's Family Grill. So we'd love to have you and can chat about what's happening in Mount Clemens. That's all I have.
Thank you. Commissioner Menzer?
So, when we were here last time on August 15th, I spoke about the lawsuit headed by East Point City Manager Steve Duchesne against the state of Michigan for violations of the Headley Amendment and Proposal A. That's the state taking our money, our tax money, and keeping it. The state cut to revenue sharing to cities and townships and villages was $6 billion between 2003 and 2013. I think about 42 million of that was the city of Mount Clemens money. But I did check, and the city of Mount Clemens did join that lawsuit. City Manager Brown talked about it on April 18th, 2016. So I say it's our money, our tax dollars, and we want it back. I want to talk about the fallen heroes to be remembered on 9/11 up at the courthouse in front of the building there on Main Street. 9/11 is, of course, Patriots' Day. The ceremony begins at 6. We'll be raising the American and memorial flags, the reading of the names of our fallen officers. There are Mount Clemens officers on there, and singing the national anthem.
It's 6 p.m.
6 p.m., yep. I want to give a shout out to Exalta Coding Systems, one of our businesses over on Groesbeck and Elizabeth. They hosted some University of Michigan business, chemistry, and engineering students in a panel discussion with NASCAR Sprint Cup Pure Michigan 400 officials. Students saw the race at the Michigan International Speedway. They toured the track. They spoke to the drivers. And this was all to help further stem education, science, technology, engineering, and math. And I think Exalta, what a good corporate citizen for our students. Baker College is taking applications and appointments for low-cost dental hygiene services for Mount Clemens residents are eligible. It starts 9/26, goes through 12/7 at their campus on Gratiot. If you're a senior and you have Medicare, it doesn't cover dental. So please take advantage of that. Cleanings and exams are $30 for adults, $20 for children aged 3 to 14. And it also has a program for people with no insurance at all. So if you need some dental care, please call Baker College and set up an appointment, or visit their campus on Gratiot and 15 there and set up an appointment. It's a good thing for the residents. The Mount Clemens Optimist Club is having their second annual road rally on September 24th. The starting time is 6:30. You can call Kathy Best or contact Mr. Saff or myself for information on the road rally. Every penny that the Optimist Club makes goes back to the children of the city. It's a great, good time, a fun event. If you need more information, you can call Kathy at 586-495-1005 or contact me or contact Mr. Saff. We received the quarterly reports from interim city manager Lisa, and actually I had a conversation with a member of the DDA, and I would like to see quarterly reports from the DDA, so maybe we can talk about that at some point. I think the DDA is having a lot of things go on. I think that there's new businesses in town, and I think it would be nice if we had a report on a quarterly basis so that we can know these. I think it's a wonderful thing. In the statistics that we received, we did not have anything on the grant writer. We're paying, what, $1,750 a month for the grant writer? I'd like to see what that grant writer is doing, what they've accomplished, what they're working on, what grants they're targeting for the city. So I'd like to see that come forward. So based on a complaint from residents to County Commissioner Fred Miller, I went over to 260 North Walnut, and I looked at that dilapidated house that the two residents spoke about earlier. And Brian, of course, we talked about it, and he was right on the spot, handled that very quickly and very well. While I was in that neighborhood, I kind of toured around. Mr. Harrington has spoken many times about some of the conditions on Court and Park. And so I toured down Court, and I found 3 more abandoned properties other than the one right on the corner. While I was parked in the driveway looking at one of them, I watched cats go in and out of the basement window. The property on North Walnut, they talked to me about skunks living there. I found a house across from the church that had 4 vehicles in various conditions of repair, couches, chairs, furniture, all sitting out on the lawn, right out in the open. And I talked to several residents who felt that we have neglected that area. And I think that it would be a good thing for everybody, all the commission members to tour that. While I was over there, I stopped on Fessenden, and I talked to Grady Jones and his wife Sadie. We had a nice long conversation about the neighborhood. I went over to Gibbs Street and looked at a house somewhere near Commissioner Ford that's been in disrepair for, about 6 years? Maybe longer? At least. A dilapidated thing with liquor bottles and trash all over. So I did some digging. I wanted to, every time when you read the newspaper, you hear a lot about Detroit and their blight reduction program. So I went online and I Googled some stuff. And on August 28, 2015, the federal government gave Detroit $21 million for blight demolition. On 4/20 of 16, they got an additional $188 million. So that's over 200 million. That 188 came from what's called the hardest hit fund. Well, I quite frankly, I think that Mount Clemens is hard hit. And Mayor Duggan announced on July 19th this year that the 10,000th home had been demolished in Detroit. Blighted home had been demolished in Detroit. So I guess my question is, where's our money? And I would really like to hear if there's something the grant writer can do to help with that, because a lot of that was grants through the federal government. So, and in keeping with my tradition, I've had a light month. I've been to John's Family Grill. I've been to the Engine House. I've been to Bath City. I've been to Rec Bowl. And I've been to Leslie Tire because my brand new car on its 2nd month anniversary had a flat tire. I went in, those guys fixed it right up. I had a nice chat with them. They were great, and I'm happy. So, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Button?
Okay. For those who like summer, you had a summer reprieve today, 90 plus. I hope you enjoyed it. Back to school. Students, study it as if your future depends on it, because it really does. Be careful and make wise decisions. Adults, be careful of students going back to school. I think probably everybody saw the 2 students that got hit by cars that were crossing from a school bus, and the cars didn't yield to the students and they got hit. Well, they didn't get killed, so that's a blessing, but we have to be careful of our students, and the buses do have the signs that pop out and say stop, but you have to obey those signs and stop. So everybody be careful. Congratulations to Mount Clemens High School and Seminole Elementary of the Mount Clemens Community School System for being removed from the state's failing schools list. Thank you, Joseph Gibson, high school principal, Dr. Bill Pearson, superintendent, and the teaching staff for your hard work and dedication to make this turnaround possible. Congratulations to the Public Service Director, Jeff Woods, and the construction crew, okay, for completing the Church Street spot surfacing project before school started. I think there are still some areas that need smoothing out, but I'm happy and pleased with what did get taken care of. And Commissioner Wisdom for tonight from Confucius. The will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential. These are the keys that will unlock the door to your personal excellence. And I'll even substitute the word excellence for success. They will unlock the door for your personal success. So thank you very much. Think about that. And good night.
Thank you. Commissioner Ford?
I would like to thank Mr. Woods for handling the problem we had at Carnesfield. That's it.
Didn't
Thank
you
you.
want to mention the reunion?
He told me I should do that.
Yes.
Are you going to do that, or am I going to do this?
The
Go.
mayor's going to do this.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We're going to fight over who's going to do this, you know. Okay, I have a couple things. One is I would like to congratulate the Yard of the Year winner and all of the recipients of the Yard of the Year. I can't tell you who won because it's tonight, going on right now. I'm sorry to miss it. This is the first time I've missed it in over 10 years, but they've always held it. Apparently not on the same night we have a commission meeting, and they were a little surprised that we didn't catch it when they gave us the date. So I just want to thank everybody that participated, and of course the Beautification Commission who puts that on. The Mount Clemens High School all-class reunion is this Friday?
Yes.
Okay, at the Rec Bowl. If you're in the class of 30, 40, 50, you can start at 4. And if in your class of 25 11:15. You can get there by 11:30 when the rest of us have left. So, just wanted to remind you of that. It's at the Rec Bowl, and it's a lot of fun. So if you're a graduate from Mount Clemens High School, all classes are welcome. My last thing is I wanted to thank everyone who sent their condolences, their prayers, and the kind words to myself and my family during the loss of my husband, Neil. I really appreciate everything that was said and all of the outpouring of the community and all of his friends. So thank you so much for being there for me. And with that, we have an executive session for union contracts.
Correct.
I need a motion to go into exec session.
Motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Board.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? We'll take a 5-minute recess. We have a couple motions to make, to vote on tonight.
You do the first one.
All right, move to approve the July 1 through, July 1, 2015 through June 30th, 2018 GELC Clerical Collective Bargaining Agreement.
Second.
Any comments, questions?
Vote.
Roll call?
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser,
Yes.
Bunton.
Yes.
Okay.
Request approval of the July 1, 2015 to June 30, 2018 DPW Collective Bargaining Agreement.
Support.
Any comments, questions? Roll call?
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser,
Yes.
Bunton,
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Third motion?
Request approval of the move to approve the July 1, 2015 through July 30th, 2018 Crew Leaders Collective Bargaining Agreement as
Support.
presented.
No, you take it, Roger.
Let's get it done.
Any questions, comments? Roll call?
Ford,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser,
Yes.
Bunton,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Move to
Need a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.